for audio.
Hey, now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and welcome the team.
I have no idea.
Versus the visitors.
Oh, the
Coming in from Memphis, Tennessee, with a 5-4
Stand around and that's the mic and just shout.
Rhodes College Wings. And here are your starters.
We know that. It's
A junior guard, we're number 1, Kirsten C. A sophomore guard, we're number 10, Haley Marsh.
FYI, this
A sophomore
microphone is
guard,
live.
we're number 25, Audrey Griffin.
The microphone on my computer is live right now. I gotta get it some audio, or it doesn't stream.
And a senior forward, we're at number 55.
Do you want us to sit over there?
Maybe. I want to figure out if I can get this up.
Assistant by and Mark. That's it.
The only problem is it may be hard to hear. Maybe hard to hear.
Los Angeles, California, with an 8-1 record. Please help me welcome Occidental College Tigers. And here are your starters. A sophomore point guard, weight number 1, Dominique Kabani. A senior guard, wearing number 3, Gabriella Itopio. A senior guard, wearing number 24, Tony Johnson.
We don't have an
A sophomore
age,
guard,
right?
wearing number 35, Paige Yasukochi. And sophomore center, wearing number 53, Ainsley Shelska. And your head coach is Anik Alajani, assisted by Isaiah Flowers and Alma Garcia. Good luck, ladies, and let's have a great game. Tigers with the tip up. Wilson with the basket. For 2. Yasukochi, 3. rush for the basket. Shilsta for 2. Foul spot number 1, Kevin. That's going to be her first, team second. Foul spot number 25, Griffith. That's going to be her first, team first. We'll send it to 35 Page. Yes, it butchered the line, shooting 2. Griffith for 2.
She's definitely taller than the 6-foot player.
Foul spot number 3, McHugh. That's going to be her second, team third. Influence number 33, Alyssa.
That should be up to maturation process, aging, whatever. It used to be like the players and the student workers were the people who I thought were cute. And then it was like the assistant coaches,
Tigers number 4, Darren.
then it's like coaches' moms.
Right, yep.
Sean Wallace's mom, hottest player in the world. Sean is the point guard for those big Washington teams. Yeah. Right, not Sean Wallace of, Princess Bride Tale or whatever. Grand Magus set or... At the moment, it's not super missing.
Tigers inbound. the tournament. Once again, we want to thank you for coming out here to fabulous Las Vegas for our tournament. We want to wish you a happy new year. Good luck to the season, both teams. And for those traveling back home, please have safe travels. Marsh with the basket.
Holy shit.
Usually those don't work.
McHugh with the basket. That's ball number 1. See, that's going to be her first. Team second. Influence number 32.
Ooh, mira. Funciona. It works. Sorry. All right, folks, sorry for the delayed start to the audio portion of this broadcast, but we appreciate you hanging in for our live stream of the fourth and final day of the D3Hoops.com Classic, and this is game 14 of 16, and right now it is tied between Occidental and Rhodes, 14 apiece with 2:18 to go here in the first period. I'm Pat Coleman along with Gordon Mann. Gordon, welcome. We are here.
We are, yep.
Rhodes is in the black uniforms. They've got the white numbers with the red trim. The Lynx out of Memphis, Tennessee. 1 of 2 from the foul line. Occidental in the whites with the black numbers and the orange trim. Making a return trip to the D3Hoops.com Classic. And that pass by Lagunas Monroy too far out ahead of her teammate and out of bounds. 4 fouls for Occidental here in the early going. 2 for Rhodes. That's actually number 5 now on Occidental, so we're going to send Rhodes to the foul line.
These two teams both with a chance to head home 2-0, which would be very nice. Occidental defeating Westminster of Missouri yesterday. This is the Tigers' second trip here for the women's side. They were 0-2 the first time, so look like a much better team this time around. Rhodes. It's a free throw, no good. They were victorious and by a surprising margin over Laverne, 71-51. A couple of days ago now, so they had yesterday off.
Rhodes 5-4 coming into this game. Occidental 8-1. Shot no good by Tokeshi. Will be out of bounds.
Yeah, Rhodes with a worse record, but a much tougher schedule, playing a series of NCAA tournament teams. Rhodes, the three-time defending champs in their conference. And Occidental trying to get into the upper tier and back to the playoffs in their conference.
On the floor right now for Rhodes, Marsh, Balam, Lagarde, Bongiovanni, and Althoff. Elagoras, Tokeshi, McCoy, Lagunas, Monroy, and Yasukochi for Occidental, and Tokeshi there with the layup, finishing the fast break and tying us up at 16. Althoff at 6 foot, goes around her defender, left hand, gets the basket, and will go to the line.
Althoff with really good footwork. We saw her work in the post against Laverne in the Lynx win over the Leopards. Coach Thurman went with a two-big lineup against Laverne because they had a little more size. So he got Althoff and Vlachos together right now. And that's the way they started the game. But they got Catherine Althoff, who was quietly dominant in that game.
She completes the three-point play.
Second Lynx was number 22, Juliet Howell, and number 34, Jana Ramos.
Althoff 5'11", Vlachos 6 foot. This Occidental can and has countered with Ainsley Shelsta, 6'5", and three-pointer up the top will roll over and in for Tokeshi. Tokeshi, first 3 points of the night. Morning, afternoon, we lose all sense of time. I believe it's Saturday.
Nice style steal by Elagores.
Up ahead, she gets the finish too off the feed from Tokeshi.
Steal the basket.
Rhodes gets it into the front court, immediately trapped. And it's going to call for the double dribble. For Rhodes, that's the third turnover of the day.
Yeah, Rhodes does not have what I would consider a true ball handler on in their top five. Kirsten C. would be the closest to it. So the press, which Occidental likes to use anyway to neutralize the size disadvantage, is going to be even more effective here.
Long three as the first quarter winds down is no good for Bongiovanni, and we will go to the first quarter break. 21-19, Occidental with the lead here at the D3Hoops.com Classic.
Liberal arts school and majoring in business, it definitely gives you both perspectives because I'm taking classes about art and music. I've been taking religious studies classes, but then I'm also taking these very specific classes about accounting or statistics and finance. So I'm glad that I went to a liberal arts school because I definitely got a completely different side of the education rather than just being a business major.
We've got more schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
Back out here at the D3Hoops.com Classic. We're headed to quarter number 2 of the final women's game of this event. And one of the things we have to figure out is who is going to be the most outstanding player in women's basketball at this event. Oftentimes it seems like it's pretty self-explanatory, and I don't know that it's that way this year.
But normally you have a team that goes, you usually have two that go 2-0 kind of on each side. This will be something of a rarity and where you have a fairly full field and we're only going to get one. And the top player for Occidental yesterday, that was not a surprise. It's Tony Thompson, who leads them in just about every statistical category. And Skyak, newcomer of the year, didn't play last year, I have to imagine, due to injury. But that wasn't a surprise. But for Rhodes it was, as Althoff, who could actually be that player, could be the most outstanding player anyway. The most notable player in the game 2 days ago was freshman Alyssa Bongiovanni, who had 14 points, 13 rebounds, and 4 assists, all of them career highs. Now, she's only played 8 games in her career, but still, it was very impressive. And so, those would be the odds-on favorites, I guess.
I don't think we generally look at whether someone is a freshman necessarily.
Oh, absolutely not.
Like this.
No. Yeah, it was surprised she was, had not had a game like that and was this first person off the bench for Rhodes.
Althoff with the foul shots.
You'd have to go deep into the archives to figure out who is the last bench player to be a most outstanding player at one of these events. But
I don't know that I have any of that information. Tony Thompson off glass for 2. If I go through the archives, I'm not even entirely sure I have all of the most outstanding players from the past 13 years.
Understandable. Well, Thompson can make it all moot by scoring 40 points and leading Occidental to a 30-point win. So,
free throw is good. She completes the 3-point play. Give her 6 here in the early going.
I will tell you that if you had asked me to pick which team is most likely to go 2-0, I think I would have had Occidental last.
Probably, and that's a nice jumper there from Marsh.
Either them or Westminster, I would have had to flip a coin, but the fact that they have come out here and look so good has been very impressive.
Thompson follows her own shot, gets the rebound to put back, and that one is good.
It's a big credit to Alahid Alajanian, their head coach, who has really taken this team from a pretty down spot where it was the last time they were here, which was years ago, to a place where, as we commented yesterday, they don't only have those typical Occidental, spark plugs who run up and down the floor at 5'5" or shorter, but they also have some players who are just really good at specific things. You had Shelsta, who brings size, Thompson, who's good about just about everything, and Paige Yasakochi, who's an excellent shooter and a very smart defender.
Yeah, Oxy was here 3 times in 5 years, 2013, 2014, 2017, but then not since then.
Yeah.
And this is a program that, as we mentioned, comes into this game at 8-1. Last year they finished the season 11-14, so it's already a nice turnaround. Yasakochi, I think, is one of those players, right? Thompson, obviously, having her back is a big deal.
Yep.
Shot no good for Vlachos.
Yeah. Shelsta, the difference maker and the size. I mean, there aren't a lot of Division III programs, period, who have 6'5" forwards who could
move.
Right,
Right,
who are not just tall.
Right.
But it's even more unusual in the Skyak, where most of the players look like, if you're looking down at the screen, Dara Tokeshi. They look more like that, or Amaya LaCoy, who is listed as a guard but effectively plays forward, and she's 5'8", and a small 5'8". So the fact that they have that kind of size doesn't entirely separate them. Laverne has good size too, but it is a difference maker.
Off the rebound of the miss, AC Malam for 3. That might make up for a missed free throw there.
Yeah.
26-25, there's a steal. Coming back the other way, Rhodes, 1-on-1, Marsh for 2.
And when we're talking about length and size, that's what we're referring to right there. Avery Marsh, it's not that she's faster than Dara Tokeshi, it's that her arms are longer, and so she gets to the ball quicker and creates a nice move.
Yeah, Shelsta, nice. Did not finish, though.
Gets into the lane and creates steals or Thompson right there, almost demonstrating the same thing.
Thompson, like the cornerback going for the interception instead of the tackle.
Yeah, it's easy to think about height in terms of, can I shoot over the top of you, can I rebound over the top of you, but it's also length on defense. It's increasingly become ability to disrupt things with the passing lanes.
Yes, Althoff up top for 3.
And, it used to be 15 years ago in Division III women's basketball that you couldn't win without multiple talented 6'4" forwards. Now it's become you can't win without really 4 or 5 wings who are either approaching 6 foot or have the arms or the athletic ability to play like that.
Driving in, no good there for McCoy. Shelsta rebound, fights it up again, and then uses the window. She's like, I don't know how that went in.
I'm just bigger and stronger than you.
6'5" sophomore center from Brookings, South Dakota.
Gabriella Topio checks in. Something of a defensive specialist for Coach Alajanian, as Topio averages a little over 4.5 points a game.
Brookings is kind of in that no man's land on I-29 between Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and Fargo, North Dakota.
It's a big empty state from what I understand.
You want to know how far it is to Occidental campus from there?
Sure.
How about 1,813 miles by car?
Well, we can ask Alajanian. I wonder what the story is and how she found her, right?
I think that would be a classic question for a conversation.
Yeah, I mean, it's and most of the SCIAC players, this is true for Oxy, which is an outstanding school academically, as is Rhodes. But you look at the geographic spread between these two teams, Oxy's got a little bit of a spread. They got a couple players from Las Vegas, but most of the players in this conference are from Southern California, right around Los Angeles. And, good reason for that. High population density. I'm sure very good athletes. It's not like you have to go real far, but compare that with Rhodes. Tennessee, Georgia, Arkansas, Texas, New Jersey, Louisiana, Florida. So, and the men's team, who we'll see after this, has an even bigger geographic spread.
I would suspect Rhodes in Memphis to Louisiana is about the same as Dominique Cabading from San Francisco to L.A.
True, yeah. That's a good point.
California's just,
very large.
Low post with it.
Nice defense on C.
Lacos, shot clock kicking to 4, and it's taken away right into the hands of Cabading. Cabading going to go one-on-one against C. Yeah. No good. Follow. Is going to draw the foul. Gabriella Atopio following well right there to clean up the glass, and then try to put it back, and instead she'll have to do it at the foul line.
Cabading is lightning quick and has good defensive instincts. Very young, just a sophomore. Thing she's going to have to work on is finishing. That's the 4th or 5th fast break in this event, and where she's running one-on-one, and she hasn't scored yet, and I think twice she committed offensive fouls. So, something to work on. Again, you can just hone that a little bit. That's an incredible weapon because no one's going to catch her in a foot race. She is extremely quick, very low to the ground, so you're not going to dribble by her.
Right.
But as long as you have players like Atopio following, it almost doesn't matter if you have someone following to clean things up. Oh, nice pass. Well, maybe. Nice idea, at least.
Right, looking for Milam flashing to the basket. Actually, Atopio right there in good coverage, step by step with her.
Paige Yasakochi checks in, who's a very complete player. Shoots well, somewhat reluctantly. Does not have a quick trigger, but shoots well. Great defender.
See her there, put the ball on the floor.
Just really like her instincts there. She recognizes she's out on the wing, she's by herself. Takes it to the rim, no hesitation for 2.
Right, and that's some height where in a spot where SCIAC teams in the past haven't necessarily had someone.
Yeah.
That is, going to the basket is Vlachos. But going to get called for the offensive foul.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting, season in the SCIAC. California Lutheran, Laverne, that's Chapman. All of those schools are pretty good. Oxy is nice block off her hand and off the face of the player that she blocked it. That's never any fun to have your shot block and then have it land on your head as you're falling to the ground.
As
you're landing out of bounds.
It is quite clear.
Insult to injury to infraction.
You are the last person to touch it, and you are half out of bounds.
To complete the thought, Oxy, it's a big step up to get into the top 4 in that conference anymore. It's not enough to just be okay or around 500. You have to be better than that to just simply to make the playoffs. It's a 4-team playoff for the Skyac.
Has it tied up. Arrow is going to go to Occidental. For Occidental jerseys all in there, Shelsto, the one who finally covers the ball.
This has been a funk here for Rhodes. 4 turnovers in their last 2 minutes. Haven't scored in a couple minutes.
Right, they've made 4 of their last 4 field goals, but how long has it been since they've shot that? And they've turned it over 4 times in the last 2 plus. 32-31 our score, 4:02 remaining in the first half. At the half, we've been having these D3Hoops.com Classic conversations with coaches and players throughout this event. The goal is always to hit every single team, and most times we're able to do that. I mean, who needs rest? Here's Shelsta, shot no good. Rebound, Bongiovanni. So we'll have at least one of those to bring you at the half. You can also find them all on our YouTube page or on our front page for the D3Hoops.com Classic. Shot no good. Althoff, nice thought.
That's got to be a foul there. I mean, you cannot allow Shelsta to throw. I know she didn't connect with anybody.
Well,
but are you waiting for her to take someone's head off before you call a foul?
There was a couple of those earlier.
Yeah,
before,
I mean, she's not defending the ball. She's physically defending herself by swinging her elbows as sharply as she can.
Agreed. And elbows at her height are
everyone else's face.
Are faces for lots of people, exactly. Topio brings it into the front court. Finds Shelsta. Shelsta has a shot blocked. It's going to be a jump ball.
Or they could just let them hit her just as hard on the other end. Maybe that's the way they'll even it out. It's the old Shaquille O'Neal rule. Where you're just going to...
Back at Shelsta?
Yeah.
Yep, that jump ball, of course, that alternate possession is at Rhodes. Just to be clear.
That's also a lot of contact there.
Yeah, true.
I mean, that's going through the player, going up for the ball.
30-second timeout. Gordon, I love at this event just kind of when we ever have time to leave the arena, walking through the hotel, the lobby, around the the restaurants and stuff, and just seeing so many people in their gear. Like we famously don't get out of here until about 10 o'clock Pacific time on those long nights. We go out, we have dinner, we come back, and riding back up in the elevator with Christian Green and Robert Abdullah, Broxton Berry, exactly, from Trinity.
It's nice. It's nice to have those players hanging around, or the coaches or their parents, and have that interaction. Something you don't get at a typical game, where people are in, they see the game, and they're gone.
Right.
So, it is nice.
You got 16 different groups of people here.
Right.
For Rhodes, of course, both the men and the women's teams are here. The men play next, so this is a Rhodes doubleheader here at day 4 of the Classic. We had 3 this year, which I'm pretty sure has to be the most. I don't know if we've ever really had more than 1 too often. There's Yasakochi with the jumper. Because we have both Trinity, Texas teams. We have both Rhodes teams. We have both Laverne teams. And I like that a lot. Give me 2 quality programs.
Yeah, it makes
school. That's great.
Makes sense. It's never a surprise to me for the Skyac teams because it's a drive instead of a flight. Although I knew some of them do fly, but it's nice to have 2 teams from San Antonio or 2 teams from Memphis.
This is going to be a offensive foul away from the ball.
Rhodes just can't stop hurting itself.
Vlachos with the foul.
I mean, how many turnovers in a row in that is that now? 6.
7 now. That one. 7 turnovers in the last 3:57. For the Lynx. and yet they only trail by 1.
Tony Thompson back in for Occidental. Shelstra gets a seat.
Yasakochi.
Oh, nice
Spin
move.
yeah.
Nice move.
Gets herself into the lane for an easy little 5-footer. Lead is 3. And it's not all just struggling with the press. It is half-court offensive fouls. It's trying to throw the ball into the paint and having it taken away.
Yeah.
Shot no good there either. 2 attempts.
And a little bit of just bad luck. You know, good pass from Vlachos. It's 6 inches too long. A turnaround jumper that she gets called for an offensive foul. I don't know how that's a foul on Marsh. This has not been a fun 5 minutes for Rhodes. I mean, the ball is loose. Okay.
There you are.
Yeah.
Just trying to ask what I did. You
Yeah,
hear,
the rest of us also
Marsh
have
asked question.
actually have that same question. Yeah. So, when you get the answer, if you want to share it with us, that would be instructive.
We should mic up Avery Marsh, apparently.
That would be fun if you could get a live mic on a player.
Probably get a live mic on a ref.
You probably might have to pick carefully whose mic you have. And you'd need somebody to edit it to cut the audio. That would be the big thing, right? You wouldn't want to just, on a cold moment, bring them in. Oh, let's see what this person's saying right now.
Right.
Whoops.
Marsh brings it into the front court. 36-32 our score, a minute 43 and counting. Here in half number 1. Putting it on the floor is Malam. Nice move, a little up and under, no good. Offensive rebound, put back for Vlachos. That doesn't fall.
Okay, I was going to say, if she doesn't get fouled here, it's getting smacked in the face. I don't know how she missed, but nor does she, I'm sure.
0 of their last 5 is Rhodes. At those 7 turnovers over the last 5 minutes. That's led to a 8-0 run. Kind of an 8-0 jog.
Yeah.
For Occidental, because it's taken them 4 minutes and 42 seconds to get those 8 points.
Now, Gianna Vlachos just needs to see the ball leave her hand and go through the net. It
is that simple, is it?
No, not right now. It's not.
She's 1 of 5 from the floor, 0 for now 4 from the foul line, and
that's
that
out of
is
bounds.
Yep, out of bounds indeed. C trying to save it.
And that's a possession where she's got 2 missed layups and 2 missed free throws, following possessions where she's had charges, errant passes, non-calls. Stay away from the blackjack table after this one, Gianna. This just may not be your day.
Oh, don't bet on it. Yasakochi out top. Near side with it, dribbling in. There's McCoy off the feed from Elagoras. 6-point lead for Occidental. It's a good thing we're standing up.
Yep.
Don't fight me for it, I had it.
I'm a defender by nature, I say. Stepped into the passing lane.
The computer equipment is thankful for that. Under a minute to go here in the first half. And
nice job.
Pass inside. Yep.
Nice job by McCoy to defend that. Giving up a lot of size, but nice anticipation of the pass. Althoff is saying, you got to get it higher, but it's hard to get it much higher and have it be catchable.
Marsh from the elbow. That rolls around and in. Breaks that scoring drought. It had been 10 in a row for Occidental. Over 5 minutes and 42 seconds.
Marsh, the team's leading scorer, so right person to give the ball to. Nice move.
It's Thompson. Yep.
Oops.
McCoy unable to corral that rebound. C and Vlachos struggling to get it into the front court. Shot clock is off. We're at 10 seconds here in the half. Marsh goes into one-on-one mode. Takes it to the hole. Again, it's left short. Put back. She gets it herself. No. Thompson with the rebound, and that is how our first 20 minutes will end.
If you had one of those shot charts that shows you where the shots are taken, you'd have a whole lot of little O's right around the rim with just empty shots that just did not fall for the Lynx in that quarter.
And we'll take a break here at the half. It's 38-34, Occidental leading Rhodes.
The beautiful thing about a liberal arts education is you have to take classes all over the place.
So I think we're very versatile in terms of what we learn and what we know.
And because of that, you might find love in an area of study that you've never been exposed to before.
And here at Rhodes, you can make that a double major, you can make that a minor. Anything that you can think of, you can kind of take that and run with it. And Rhodes is here to support you through that.
Welcome, Gordon Mann at the D3Hoops.com Classic here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now joined by the University of Laverne's head coach, Anthony Mason. Coach, first off, welcome to Vegas.
Yeah, thank you. Glad to be here.
First game was a rough one today. You play Rhodes. You dropped that one 70-51. Talk to me a little bit about what went right. First off, Kiara Brown, we called her in the first half. She's like the D3 Tim Duncan. Great power moves, great skill set, leads the team in just about every category. So talk to me about what you have there in her.
I mean, Key, we got a special player. I mean, she does it all right. Hardest worker on the team. She leads the team in the weight room, leads us on the court, practices. She's just a great leader for our group, and you can see it, and they follow her.
Now, today you had some trouble establishing a player other than Brown. Who do you normally look to? Who's that? I know Howell is all SCIAC. Jackson played well.
Yeah.
Who has to be that second or third team player for you guys to succeed?
I would say Naomi does a really good job of controlling us as a point guard. We talked to her about being a quarterback. I'm like, hey, you may not always have all the touchdowns, but you're going to be somebody that distributes us, gets us set in, and gets us right. She does a really good job doing that. So usually it's going to be Hal. Alyssa Smith is going to be somebody else, the freshman, who usually steps up, does well. She's unfortunately both of them a little under the weather right now, but those are usually going to be our people that step up and kind of lead us in that spot.
One thing we noticed that we talked about during the broadcast, often SCIAC teams are short. 5'1" point guards, 5'5" forwards, 5'7". You have really good height and really good. I know you inherited this roster, but how do you get to a different level of height than the other teams in your conference?
That's a great question. That's a great question. When I figure that one out, I'll let you know. I mean, I think we're looking for it, but I think most of all, most SCIAC teams are looking for talent, right? And so we try to find the talent that's around us. And so for me, I mean, I've been lucky enough to coach All-Americans that were 5'5" at the guard spot. You know what I mean? So if they can do it, they can do it. We're going for them.
So you've had a tremendous career in Division III. You're only 3 years in, but you have a great winning percentage, a bunch of very good seasons at Vassar. Talk to me about how you come. This is a homecoming for you. So.
Yeah. So this is, to be honest with you, Laverne's 15 minutes from where I grew up. Okay. So I went to school in Long Beach, but I grew up in Pomona.
Okay.
So I grew up in Pomona. So I grew up passing by, driving by the tent. So coming home, I love Vassar. Everything that Vassar gave me. Great school, great administration, great kids. But it was a move for my family, and I loved what Laverne is doing as far as academically, giving first-generation students a chance to succeed at college. I really love what Laverne was doing, so when this job opened up, it was a no-brainer for me to apply to get back home, get closer to my parents, let my son grow up around his grandparents and all that kind of stuff. So it made all the sense in the world.
A little warmer winters, too.
Yeah, just a little bit.
So you take over the program in August. You were doing a great job at Vassar. That's pretty late, right? So
yeah.
Everybody who's going to be on your roster is already, for the most part, in the doors.
Absolutely.
Your schedule is set. You have to come up with your staff in a relatively short period of time. Yeah. What were those first few months like? Because kids came back to campus maybe 60 days after you were hired?
Yeah. So, it was quick, right? So I get hired where I'm on campus. We're trying to find the right staff. Lucked out in Barb Satongan. She was one of our point guards at Pepperdine, top 5 in the nation assist to turnover ratio. Just a great player, great basketball IQ for these kids to learn from. So we just completely lucked out being able to get her on staff. She's been such a blessing to us, and it was just trying to get to know the kids, right? As soon as they could get on campus, hey, let's set up meetings, let's talk, let's figure out life. Because that's really what it's about, is trying to get to know the kids. What are their dreams? What are their aspirations? What are they trying to do? And so that was it.
Did you have much interaction with the players during the interview process?
I did. During the interview process, we had a good group of them that came through. So it was nice getting to meet them face to face. And that was also one of the things that got me excited about the school, was getting to meet those young women and see who they were, the kind of questions they asked, what they were concerned about. Let me know that it was a great place to be.
So last year, the Leopards' best year in program history, ranked in the top 25, 24-3. Didn't make the tournament. You know, in this conference, that's going to be tough. And we talked about it a lot in the broadcast. You are on an island, right? So scheduling is really tough. I imagine you inherited this schedule from Coach Pruitt. But talk to me about your scheduling philosophy, because I know for some of the SCIAC teams, it's a lot of Westmonts and Life Pacifics and the schools that are around you. Others of them travel more. Some of them host. Some of them don't.
Yeah.
What will yours look like?
So we're trying to do a little bit mix of that. We are trying to get more D3 teams. I think it's important for us to play a lot of D3 games. So we're trying to see as much as we can do. So next year, we're going to do a little mix of traveling and staying at home and trying to entice some teams to come out and play us and trying to pick up on back-to-backs when they're playing other people. But it's really important for us to try to get a lot more D3 games than we've had before. And so, but again, it's hard down here in Southern California. So yeah. So it's one thing to say to plan for it, and we'll see how it goes going forward.
You have one more game here tomorrow. What will you do in between those games in terms of getting ready?
So we're going to watch our opponent right now. We're going to sit down, get some rest, get off our feet, talk a lot about it, do a lot of whiteboard talk, and try to correct some of the errors that we made today that we just aren't typical errors for us. But when your last game was, I think, December 6th, he got that long layoff. We came back and we looked rusty. So we got to fix that and see what we can fix in 24 hours.
Anything that you'll do in Vegas besides basketball? Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
We'll probably go to a movie tonight. That'll be the most of what we do, because we'll also support our men's team that's here. So after this game, we'll support our men's team, do a little talk, have dinner, go out, have dinner, and then we'll go catch a movie tonight.
Last thing for you, break down the conference for me. You guys are the favorites. Claremont's very good. Redlands won the tournament last year. How do you see the SCIAC?
SCIAC's wide open. I mean, if you look at the teams from just top to bottom, some of the great wins they've already had in this season, I think it's going to be tough from going literally from top to bottom. I don't want to say who's favorite, who's not, because you've had some teams with some great wins, some great competing. You saw Whittier competing with NYU. You see the wins that Cal Luz had. Like, you see all these teams and what they're doing. It's going to be wide open this year.
Coach Anthony Mason of the Laverne Leopards, thanks for joining us, Coach.
Thank you. Have a good one.
We've got more schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
Welcome, Gordon Mann, here in Las Vegas, Nevada at the 2023 D3Hoops.com Classic, joined by Trinity Tigers head coach Cameron Hill. Coach, we said at the end of today's broadcast that was a mentally tough win against Framingham State. They pushed you, but you guys came out with the victory in the end.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to have been in their situation several times where you're carrying a long winning streak, and as much fun as that is, and as much as everybody wants that and they want to accomplish those incredible moments during seasons, that streak gets heavy, and it's like sooner or later, if you're really lucky, you can keep it going the whole way, but it's rare. And so we kind of came in with the attitude like, if we just keep applying pressure and play our brand, we can keep the pressure on them and maybe make a few plays, and it ended up working out well for us today, and we finally got the ball to go in the basket.
Now, you guys have played a tough stretch here. I watched the Trinity-Texas Lutheran game where you guys were down a ton and then came back. Close loss to Willamette, close loss to Puget Sound, close win today. What's the difference for your team between a close win and a close loss in those situations?
Well, just to be clear, all respect to Willamette, that was not a close loss.
Okay.
The others were good games. It's just, for our level, the value that we put on academics is real. And so when finals come around, it's really hard to have meaningful practices if you're giving the girls what they need to study for their tests.
Right.
So we haven't had a full contact practice since before finals. And along the way, we've lost some players and had some new players and had some injuries. And, it's normal life. And you got to keep it all in perspective. So without practice and with trying to intelligently manage all of the little things that have been happening in our home, like we've been able to battle, and I've been proud of them the whole way. Yesterday was hard, but I think they came back today with a clear mind, and they were able to play our brand of basketball. And I mean, to come out of here with a win and to head home back to conference, I'm really proud of it. I'm excited to see where we go from here.
This is not a team that's used to having losing streaks of any kind. What specifically did they have to do to put it out of their mind on a turnaround of basically 24 hours?
I think most of them threw up, honestly.
That's one way to do it.
They're not comfortable with it either. Yeah. And I mean, if you have to choose between being comfortable losing and being uncomfortable losing, I'm taking the second one every single time. So, going through human things is important for people. And that's what we've been going through. And I feel great about what we can do from here. And we're going to work hard to get healthy. And, if we can peak at the right time, I think we're a real problem.
So you mentioned the fact that you're going through some things. You lose Natalie to injury. I know it'll be a little bit before she comes back. You add another Natalie through the transfer portal. How do you guys piece things together without having practices? How do you make adjustments? Let me ask you one question at a time. Will it change how you play? I think the answer is no.
Yeah, no, but yes. So, we have never played since I've been at Trinity an entire game in the quarter court. And today we committed to playing quarter court defense the whole time. We need to get better at that. Never. We've always pressed.
Wow.
So doing that was a big step for me, but also a great opportunity for them to link together and do this together today. And I thought the bench energy was great. But I think you have to get outside your comfort zone in situations like this, and you have to push your team into new areas where you can find a couple things that are going to help you down the stretch. So that was what today was all about, man. Unorthodox game plan for us, but offensively, I think it kept our legs in it on the second day of a back-to-back, and that's why we made shots. So
and that's important because the second day of the back-to-back is what you see, obviously, when you get to the tournament.
You bet.
You mentioned finding new things to get through things. Well, you found a new thing in Reedy, a really good point guard. She hits the backbreaker today, all-tournament team for us. Talk to us about how you found the freshman guard and what she means.
She's in our backyard, man. She played at Bernie, which is 45 minutes from us, and she played for her mom, and she played in a really good high school program. And, they're a basketball family. She's the type of competitor that we want at Trinity. And, recruiting is hard for all of us in the Division III game. But when you find the type of players that really fit what you want to do, you need to get them. And that's what happened with her. And not only is she a good individual player, but her competitive enthusiasm a lot of nights will drive our other players to get to their peak performance too. So, and they do that for her. So she's special, but a big reason why she's special is because her teammates believe in her and they get her opportunities to do what she does well. So credit to the whole group.
So with Natalie Anderson out for a little while for injury, who steps up and plays a different or a bigger role for you?
Man, yeah, it's true. It's by committee. Yeah. I mean, we've had 4 or 5 different starting lineups since that happened, and every single player that we've put in that position has done a great job trying to help our team. And nothing but good things can come from that. When people finally get the opportunities they've been waiting for and they feel like they're getting a chance to do some things that they haven't done before, losing sucks, but you piece it together and you get to today and you win this game, that's a great boost for us moving forward. So,
2 more questions for you. The first one a little offbeat, and I'm sure you've told this story before, but Elaine King fouls out today, but before she leaves, she goes over to the Framingham State bench. What is that?
That's the way basketball should be played. That's respect. That coach does a great job with his program, and we want to make sure we shake their hand when we foul out of the game. It's just a thing that I really believe in.
Cool. I've never seen that before.
It's like the timeout when Flannery got hurt in the first half. There's just things that we got to keep in mind as coaches at this level that are more important than winning. And I think character and doing the right thing and protecting the players, whether they're your players or the other team's players, should be something that we be mindful of. So, that's just what we do.
And then the last question for you. I know the men's team is here. They got a big game coming up. They supported you. I'm sure you'll hang out for that game. And you want to get back and have a practice, your first one in a month or so. Yeah. Will you have time to do anything else while you're here?
Yeah, no, this for me was a business trip. I've been to Vegas a handful of times already. So, I know the girls have enjoyed Las Vegas with their families, and that's another thing we believe in a lot at Trinity is family is an important, part of everything we do. So it's been good for them, but I think this afternoon they're going to shower up and get packed, and then we'll come back and watch our men, and then we fly out tonight. So back home, hopefully get some healthy practices in and get ready for Shriner.
The Tigers will head home with a victory after beating Framingham State. He's Coach Cameron Hill, and this is the D3Hoops.com Classic.
First bucket here of the second half is for Occidental. Oxy 3 of 6 from beyond the arc. Rhodes 2 of 7. Oxy a little struggle from foul line 5 of 10, but same for Rhodes 8 of 15. Oxy with a bucket leading. All right, welcome back here. All right, welcome back to the South Point Arena. Nothing like a little reboot in Game 14. A little reboot for everybody at home as well. Hope you took the time this halftime to get a little bit of caffeine. I know I should have. I did not. Occidental in a very back and forth here, first 2.5 minutes of the half, has extended that lead out by another point. Now leads 44-39. Rhodes' struggles from the floor continue. They've missed their last 4 shots from the field. First shot good for Thompson. Thompson at the foul line. 3 of 4 on the day. A 69% free throw shooter coming into the tournament, and the second one is also good. So Thompson now has 13.
Yeah, 13 points on 14 field goal attempts, so not super efficient, but effective. And she and Yasukochi are going to take most of the shots anyway, so. Other than when they can get Shelston established down low, which might be harder to do against Althoff today.
Lagarde, and it is good, rounds it in.
First 2 points for Ania.
Shelston working around to defender. Leaves it short. Coach Alajanian was talking with Shelston at half about how to give her half a step back, make her, give her.
Oh gosh, she got clobbered.
Give herself a little more room to react to her up and under moves.
Yeah, as
moves.
you were saying that, she got head faked and did a body splash on top of Lagarde.
So not that.
No, that was. She should have went for the 3 count after that. That was quite the move. Hook the leg.
Lagarde's first shot good. We've got 6 all-tournament plaques yet to hand out today. I should say this, Gordon. You should have the joy of doing what I've gotten to do a couple times and hand them directly to a player in front of their team.
Oh, that's cool.
You should go do that. We'll give you one of those. That's a lot of fun to just watch the joy, especially obviously a team that has won their game.
Yeah.
Shelston in the paint, puts the ball on the floor, puts it off
Nice.
the glass and through the hoop.
Good job by her. Reset her feet, get to a position she's comfortable, and score.
Althoff just not really able to do much.
No, there's nothing you can do to defend that. If she's resets her feet and gets in a good position, that's Vlachos. She's tried that play a couple of times. I'm not sure her guards are fast enough to capitalize on what she's trying to do, which is the backdoor cut.
So that goes as another turnover for Rhodes. Turnover number 12 on the day, second of the half. Lagoris, guarded by Lagarde. Swings near side, that's Kabading, and bang.
Nice. She's a decent free three-point shooter. She needs space to get it off, but she shoots 27%, which isn't terrible.
Althoff almost turned it over as the middle person on the press break. Comes back this way for Bon Giovanni, back after a long break at the end of the first half. No good. Underneath for Vlachos.
Another point-blank miss. And you can see the talent and the skill, right? Because she gets wide open with her footwork and then just has not been able to finish.
Shelston nearly overthrew Yasakochi.
Like to see her, yeah, right there.
That gets out the shot, no good. Or let's just call it an assist, right into the hand.
She got a big smile on her face. She says, exactly what I meant to do, yeah.
If there were a hand gesture for an assist or for a dime, I'm sure she would have made it.
Yeah.
Right? Try to draw that from the stat crew.
It's also a sign of, Rhodes, Coach Thurman, who's in her first year. Nice move by Lagarde. Easy score. That as much as Vlachos has struggled, she has to keep her as one of her primary ball handlers against the press because the other options are worse. And, that's got to get obviously easier said than done, but there's a team that really needs a primary ball handler against the press.
Right, we talked about all of those turnovers, the 12 so far, and 6 of them are Vlachos.
Yeah, and some of that is, backdoor
front
cut.
court. Yeah, exactly.
But some of it is because she's being asked to basically play an off-guard position as a power forward.
Yeah.
And to give you a sense of her strength, she's first on the team in rebounding and first on the team in blocks.
First shot good for Yasakochi. Lagarde goes back to the bench. I think Lagarde is a pretty good ball handler too, but when she's, she comes off the floor and she's kind of, favoring that leg that's in that huge brace.
Yeah, it's a huge brace.
I'm sure that her, her ability to play is probably limited to short spurts.
Rhodes, as we mentioned, 3-time champs of the SAA. Dominated that conference, which has Center and Millsaps in it as well. Thurman, the long-time assistant under Rodney Rogan, as C is fouled.
Right, and Rodney Rogan left over the offseason to become head women's basketball coach at Johns Hopkins.
Yep. Has the Blue Jays nationally ranked. They had a big win over Chicago yesterday. Have a chance to win that event in, I think they're in Nashville, in Tennessee. They're playing...
Right, that's the one with no audio.
Right. They're playing Kenyon today.
No audio on all the games, not just
I was going to say. Might not be a distinction we care to make right now.
Tony Thompson rounded in. Even when we had no audio, we had full graphics, we had score, we had all of that, right? Not just one, huddle camera set to the widest possible aperture. Althoff.
Oh, great defense from
Taken away.
From Shelsta.
Second steal for Shelston.
Oh,
Thompson.
Oh, wow. Put him in the spin drive.
Yep. Rhodes needs a break. It is a full timeout. We will take it as well. 59-45. Oxy with the lead here with 3:32 to play in the third.
More schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
The beautiful thing about a liberal arts education is you have to take classes all over the place.
So I think we're very versatile in terms of what we learn and what we know.
And because of that, you might find love in an area of study that you've never been exposed to before.
And here at Rhodes, you can make that a double major, you can make that a minor. Anything that you can think of, you can kind of take that and run with it. And Rhodes is here to support you through that.
Thanks to Rhodes College for their sponsorship of these broadcasts throughout this 2023 D3Hoops.com Classic. Definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, I should probably explain that so folks don't understand why we're running commercials for just one of the 2 teams.
I mean, I think that pretty much explains it, right?
Right. We are open to sponsorships from as many schools. You don't even have to be here.
That is Well, that
we'll
is true,
take
too.
it. We'll take your sponsorship anyway.
That is true, but we did only solicit the schools who are attending. Althoff, no good. Putback is going to be a travel for Bon Giovanni. Turnover number 14. Yep, we sent out the, Dave sent out the emails, and
That's a great
got
idea.
a handful of responses.
That's a great idea.
I think it's super helpful. You don't want to see that same D3 Hoops promo all the time.
No.
You'll be able to recite it as well as I can. From Eastern to Occidental.
Oh, nice.
Underneath Lagunas Monroy off the feed from Elagoras, but it doesn't fall.
Well, we've said this a bunch of times in this at this event. If Rhodes wants to get back in this, they got to get this to single digits before the fourth quarter.
Three-pointer on the way, no good for Malam. Other direction. Lagunas Monroy picks it up. Oh, bounce pass for
Oh my
Elagoras,
gosh.
who just
I mean, come on.
barrels in.
I don't. They called it a defensive foul. She is running full speed and smashes into the defender. Short of getting better run blocking, what was she supposed to do? I mean, that was full speed into the defender.
Toda Thompson floater in the lane. That does not fall. C brings it into the front court.
Oh.
As a block just taken away by Thompson. That might be a steal instead of a block shot. 3-on-2, floater, no good. Gets her own rebound, stutter steps, back to the basket, and is gonna draw the foul from Avery Marsh. Avery Marsh kind of helpless against the moves and the pivots.
Right, and the size and the strength.
Third foul for Marsh. Yasakochi waiting to check in. Thompson's first shot good. We don't check in between foul shots in women's basketball. Second shot for Thompson, and this one is good as well. So Thompson has 19 points, is 6 of 7 from the foul line, and her team is up by 16 points. Nia Lagarde back into the game. She gets that inbounds pass from C. Gets it back in the front court. C with it.
Now, Vlachos is going to, and well, Althoff's not out there. Let's see if they're going to get going. This is the time to do it because Chelsea's off the floor. Oh, that's not a good decision.
Nope. C tried to throw it into a whole pride of Tigers.
Yeah.
That's not correct. Flock of Tigers, a sea of Tigers. None of those works. Three-pointer on the way for Takeshi, and she hits it. 19-point advantage here for the Tigers, who are on a 18-2 run here in this quarter. Lagarde and answers with a layup.
Oh.
And another. Malam. But that's one way. There's your defensive stop, right?
Yeah. You can get more, 7 more of those. You'll be right back in this.
Yasakochi, two-pointer is no good. LeGrand with the rebounds. Takeshi takes a dive, and nobody is particularly interested.
I thought that was 5 seconds.
Well, the shot clock was at 24, so unless she'd had it the whole shot clock, you know. Oxy controls the loose ball on the rebound. They can hold for the last shot here, up by 15. Tabading walks it across the timeline. Guarded by Malam. Gets past her, dumps off.
Nice.
And finishing it off, Lagunas Monroy with about 3 seconds to play in the quarter.
Great.
And that is how the quarter ends.
Great play by Cobbading.
Yep, little dribble drive, little dish, little basket.
Oh, so quick and smooth, too. I mean, that was all in one motion when she went from her dribble to the pass with the underhand.
So we'll take a break. Quarter number 4 coming up next here at the D3Hoops.com Classic.
Liberal arts school and majoring in business, it definitely gives you both perspectives because I'm taking classes about art and music. I've been taking religious studies classes, but then I'm also taking these very specific classes about accounting or statistics and finance. So I'm glad that I went to a liberal arts school because I definitely got a completely different side of the education rather than just being a business major.
We've got more schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
Back out here in Las Vegas, D3Hoops.com Classic 66-49. Occidental with the lead on Rhodes. Occidental turned the ball over once in the third quarter compared to 5 times for Rhodes. Rhodes shot 6 of 18. Occidental 10 of 18, including 2 of 3. Fueled a 28-15 quarter that included an 18-2 run. And
they just got everything going right now. I mean, every player, even the ones that are not big scorers, are contributing in big ways. The nifty dish by Cobbading. Lagunas Monroy is now getting to the foul line. And these are players. Lagunas Monroy averages, 5 points a game, 2 rebounds. Yeah. So these are people, they're just playing at an exceptionally high level. And yeah, we got another full quarter to go, but this is a real statement win for Occidental. Beating Westminster by, a handful is nice, certainly better than the alternative, but Rhodes will probably be at or near the top of their conference, and they are just getting absolutely blasted by Occidental here.
68-49 the score, 9:39 and counting remaining in the fourth quarter. Shot no good on a rebound. And
Laverne is the preseason pick in this conference. They lost to Rhodes by 20.
That 3 ball is no good for Elagoras. 9:20 to go here in the fourth. Althoff dribbles in, takes it herself. Nope, off the back iron, does not fall. Good move to the basket, good drive, just not enough of it. Left that ball a little bit. 10
that
seconds
was a bad mistake.
Cobbading just kind of walks the ball across midcourt. She did that on the last possession of the third period too, but because there's no shot clock,
it didn't matter.
It wasn't really obvious how long it was taking.
All right, well, that's a sophomore mistake. Whoops. I'm guessing she won't make that one too often in her career. One of the things I really like about Yasakochi, she is long enough to defend guards and quick enough to defend forwards. So they move her off of, a three-point shooter and onto Vlachos.
Yeah, because she has the height to do that.
Because she has the height to do that, right.
Anaya Lagarde comes back into the game. Vlachos is going to go to the bench. We talked about Vlachos' struggles. She turned over the ball 6 times. Yep, 6 times in the first 3 periods. Lagarde with the rebound. It was Marsh with it.
Good job by Althoff to get position. Oh, gosh.
Just leaves it short.
They just cannot make a layup or a shot within 5 feet.
I was asked yesterday, why did people stop using the backboard?
I mean, there is, you're 6'10" and you're Tim Duncan. It's easier than if you're 5'8". There's a skill to it. For Althoff, that means she's going to have to spin in that and
clock 3.
And put it. Whoops! There's nobody standing there. she's going to have even more strength and touch to get that off glass and in. And she was short on the shot already. So part of the reason people don't use the backboard is they're not all Kevin McHale size, right? It's different skill if you're 5'8" or 5'9".
Just under 8 minutes to go here in the fourth. Occidental, comfortable 19-point advantage here on Rhodes.
Kelsey Willingham into the game for the first time.
Lagarde. Oh,
that's a travel.
Yep. Lagarde looked like she wanted to go left, and I'm sorry, Yasukochi was right there, and when she adjusted, she moved her feet.
Yep. Whoops.
Thompson loses the handle on it. Marsh. Lagarde, and she got the finish.
She's had pretty good touch around the rim.
Yeah. I would agree with that. Lead is down to 17.
Shoot it.
Yasukochi does.
Okay, pass it. Yeah, she was wide open.
Make up your mind. Marsh, foul shot, foul line shot, good.
It'll get to be the time where Thompson takes over.
If need be.
Yeah.
Not even necessarily sure how.
Yeah, it's still up 15. Not too much of a worry yet.
To the line number 24, 20 Thompson shooting 2.
Thompson's first shot, no good.
Oxy has a team 60% free throw shooters. That is in the bottom third of Division III.
Second one, no good either. Ball rebounded. Rebound controlled by Juliet Howell.
Rhodes needs a long, sustained run to get back in the game, but they're on a 4-0 run at the moment. It's got to start somewhere.
There's Malam from up top. No good, around and off. Lagarde battles for the rebound. Right-handed putback, no good. And Thompson there to take it away. Thompson with a 2-on-2 with Shelsta. Now kicks it back outside. Trailer, Takeshi rattles it in for 3. Takeshi with 9 points, her third 3-ball of the day.
Good recognition. Trailing the play, gets to a spot she likes, and Thompson collapses the defense, and Takeshi's able to take advantage of it. I can see how they would be a lot better with Tony Thompson on the floor. Or she might be a difference maker.
Interesting observation.
Yeah.
Tell me what led you to that. Howell dribbles in. Throws it up. That one's no good either.
Oh, wow. Thompson rips through 2 players.
Thompson takes it all the way herself. No good. There'll be a foul, and it will head back in the Rhodes direction. First team foul for Occidental here in the fourth. 2 team fouls for Rhodes.
Team first. Against number 55.
See, yep. Double clutches and double dribbles. You cannot carry the ball on your hip 80 feet away from the basket.
Not in this sport.
Lots of sports with balls and baskets like that, or are we talking about different levels of this sport?
Yeah, different levels.
I see. Deflection on the inbound.
Nice play. Wow.
Yeah.
When you're small, you gotta compensate, improvise. Find different ways of accommodating tips it to herself. Wow, this is just total domination by Occidental. Really impressive.
Malam's pass inside is taken away by Tokushi.
Alstoff doing a nice job on Shelsta to deny her the entry pass.
Shelsta kicks it back outside, gets it back from Yasukochi. Unable to get it to fall.
Nope, wide open. Give it to her. Give it to her. Give it to her.
There you go.
Oh,
the
good grief.
defense
All
came
right.
over
Jeez.
and delivered the defense, shall we say. Yeah. By the time Gordon says for the third time she's open, Altoff recognizes the same thing and gets over there, but again, it's slightly too late.
Shelsta is they're having an amusing moment here because Shelsta's giving the guards a hard time, saying, "Hey man, I was wide open. Why did you wait until I got clotheslined?"
She could go to the foul line.
It's like leading your wide receiver into a linebacker.
That's right. That's right. You throw to your wide receiver over the middle and lead it out too far, so they're exposed to someone who just wants to level them.
Also, just an amusing physical comedy moment there because she goes over to like bump Cobbing, and Cobbing comes up to about her hip. Maya LaCoy, Vegas native, checks in. Looking into the crowd for someone who looks very excited.
She's gotten a good amount of playing time.
I think I see them, so I'm guessing that's her parents or her
Standing
family.
at the back with the matching T-shirts.
Yep, that's the ones.
Looks like it to me too. Shelsta off glass and
There you go. Why don't they use the backboard? If you're 6'5", there's no excuse.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but I'm thinking too when you're 6'0", maybe also.
Yeah.
I just felt like, not finding the touch on the short ones, put a little
Right.
more on it.
Yeah.
Altoff tried to hit the backdoor cutter in Audrey Griffith. And Shelsta there to disrupt that pass. Rhodes will take a full time out. We'll take one as well. 23-point game here in the fourth quarter at the D3Hoops.com Classic.
More schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's nearly 850 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over 2 decades. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
The beautiful thing about a liberal arts education is you have to take classes all over the place.
So I think we're very versatile in terms of what we learn and what we know.
And because of that, you might find love in an area of study that you've never been exposed to before.
And here at Rhodes, you can make that a double major, you can make that a minor. Anything that you can think of, you can kind of take that and run with it. And Rhodes is here to support you through that.
.56.53 here with 4:07 to play in the ball game. Long outlet inbounds pass saved by Audrey Griffith.
Did she need to do that? Couldn't she have just collected it in the backcourt?
She is allowed to catch it in the backcourt,
Yeah.
but she can't catch it in the front and
Right.
drag it into the back.
Yep.
She either has to save it or
Yeah. I thought she could have let it go into the backcourt and catch it as opposed to.
yeah, as long as she is fully in the backcourt.
Right.
Yes. Nice reverse layup for Atopio. Second basket of the afternoon. Bon Giovanni. Big game a couple of days ago. Kind of struggled here.
Yeah.
Not gotten a lot of playing time because of it. Just 1 point. 7 rebounds, but 1 point. So Rhodes will inbound underneath their own basket. Long inbounds is stolen away by Thompson. Thompson all alone with the layup. Thompson now with 21 points. Tony Thompson, senior guard out of Newbury Park, California. The lead is 27.
Should I go give her the player of the trophy of the tournament now, or just wait until the game's over?
You should wait till the game's over, and also,
Fair enough.
Don't do that in front of Rhodes. Also, would be my other
just stop the game, walk out of there.
like it's 1,000-point score.
Right, exactly.
That would be.
Everyone
hilarious.
would be very confused.
That would be hilarious. Yeah, Tony Thompson's had an amazing tournament.
Remember, I said she could make this easier by scoring 30 and then winning by 20. Well,
she's got some of that.
She might get there.
There's 23.
She's got 23, and they're up 25. So.
To go. Actually, she's not had the best shooting night from the floor. Obviously, she's 8 of 21. But, let's put some other things in perspective, right? She's got a couple of assists. She makes
13 rebounds.
13 rebounds. She makes her team better, and of course, she 6 of 9 for the foul line. They really missed her last year.
And, the efficiency issue is a little less pronounced because everyone else has been super efficient. 1 of 2, 2 of 3, 2 of 3, 1 of 2, 4 of 9, 4 of 8.
Right, so everybody else is 23 of 47, which is about 50%.
And Oxy's just making subs just calling timeouts to bring subs in as Nicole Venegas checks in from Sunland, California. And
Thompson will.
That's it. That's all of their players.
Thompson will take a seat for the rest of the day.
Oxy still has a very short roster, and I'm not referring to height in terms of numbers.
Not this time anyway. Venegas, nice move.
There you go. That's why she leads the team in field goal percentage, 60%.
Look, Monroy there with the rebound. It is Avery Marsh who goes hard to the floor.
Foul number 5, McCoy, that's going to be her second, team second. Marshall shooting 2.
84-58 with 2:01 to play. The AI scoreboard is making things up now. Second shot good. It's all right, Dave. I mean, think of all the buttons you would have had to have pressed over the previous 13-plus games in order to update the scoreboard, right? Lagunas Monroy, we're under 2 minutes here in the final women's game of the 2023 D3Hoops.com Classic. Coming up next, Rhodes takes the floor as well. It's the Rhodes men against Laverne. 2 to shoot, and is late and also no good. Sailor Donaldson comes into the game for Rhodes, and Juliet Howell comes into the game for Rhodes, and Sailor Donaldson takes a seat. Marsh, cross-court pass near side for Malone.
Well, Thurman still has her starters. There are a handful of them out there. She wants them to try and establish something positive.
She's looking for combinations of people, I'm sure, who she can use later, right? There's no top with a putback. Right, I mean, so, for example, starter Audrey Griffith is out there, but Griffith has only played 12 minutes today.
After this game, boy, tough stretch ahead for Occidental. Home for Cal Lutheran, who actually it's not terrible on the women's side. At Laverne, at Claremont, that should be a win. Claremont and Pomona are both struggling this year, and then at Redlands. So that Laverne game and Cal Lutheran, Oxy is 2-1 in conference. They have a loss to Whittier and wins over Caltech and somebody else.
Steal by Occidental. Topio picks the pocket of Griffith. Elagoras takes it to the basket. Shot no good. Griffith rebound. holds up the 3-on-3 fast break. Howell. Bucket.
And for Rhodes, who's yet to start conference play, best team in that conference by record right now is Millsaps. They're 10-1.
Shut up and good for McCoy.
Rhodes' next 3 games are road games, no pun intended, at Hendricks immediately, right when they get back. And then they'll just fly into Arkansas. And then at Barry, it's in Georgia, and then at Oglethorpe, that's in Atlanta, also in Georgia.
That basket will count at the end of the game there for Alyssa Bongiovanni. The final score, Occidental. They get out of here 2-0. They improve to 9-1 as the Tigers defeat the Rhodes Lynx by the score of 86-65. For Dave McHugh, for Gordon Mann, we're going to take a step back. We're going to get you ready for the next game coming up in just about 30 minutes from now. The Rhodes men and the Laverne men. Again, the final score here, 86-65, Occidental 2-0 here at the Classic. Everybody have a good afternoon. We'll see you again in a bit.
The beautiful thing about a liberal arts education is you have to take classes all over the place.
So I think we're very versatile in terms of what we learn and what we know.
And because of that, you might find love in an area of study that you've never been exposed to before.
And here at Rhodes, you can make that a double major, you can make that a minor. Anything that you can think of, you can kind of take that and run with it. And Rhodes is here to support you through that.